Hey, welcome back to Grit Gym. It is Friday. We have the Move Strong Games coming up tomorrow. That starts at 9 a.m., but registration starts at 8 a.m. We are taking walk-ins. I know that I've had a few people write in and ask me, or ask a friend to ask a friend to ask me if that's doable. And yes, we are taking walk-ins, so you can come in, walk in, and get signed up. But a lot of the questions I've been getting around this are, how do I get it all in? How do I do all the not all the training, because we have a staff at Grit Gym. That's one of the first things I want to say. Social media creates, I've been getting this question a lot since we started doing more and more social media. It's like, how do you do it all? How do you do all the things? Like, how do you train all those people, and how do you do all the social media, and how do you do all the things? And I'm like, well, first of all, I have a staff. So if you're comparing what one person gets done versus an entire staff, you gotta get real. I know for a fact that a lot of these people that go on television and have these huge social media followings, they try to make it sound like they're just really organized. And that's total garbage. They have an entire staff that helps them out. They have multiple people on staff. And the other thing is that you're not going to get away from not being organized. I have to find ways to leverage against myself as best as I possibly can, and you do too. This is one of the funny things I find about pressure in our world today is people will say, I don't like pressure. I don't work well under pressure. That's garbage. I guarantee you that you work and you might not enjoy the work as much when you're under that pressure, but you get more done, you are better at the thing that you are trying to do, and you are more efficient with your time when you are under pressure. There is nobody on the face of the earth that doesn't do better under pressure than to do without pressure. So one of the things that I try to do is I try to leverage as much pressure upon myself as I possibly can. In my workouts, this is part of the reason that we do the math, that we quantify the exercise, that we know what we're doing when we walk in, so that we don't have to play a game of, what do I feel like today? It's about hitting a number. So we quantify it so that we can coax that gain along. Everything I do really from like 7 o'clock in the morning, I'll take like a little bit to get rolling, but from 7 o'clock in the morning till 9:30 at night, I'm basically trying to leverage as much pressure upon myself as I possibly can to get everything done. Why? Because I think on some level, I've conditioned myself over time to just really believe in this work. We're back. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. I thought I was going to have to pull out some Jedi stuff on the internet, which basically just means shutting everything else down. But I do think that you're not going to get away from being organized. I don't think that you're going to be able to get away from working hard. But I do think that one of the biggest errors that I made along the way was not working smart. And one of the things I think that the next big thing that I think you have to knock down is you have to take care of your body. We know that we don't know a lot about the mind. We think that we do. Like lay people think that we do, but when you actually talk to like researchers and you listen to, you read books on this subject, like we don't know much of anything. It is an extremely complicated topic. Like, how do we get focus? How do we increase intelligence? How do we increase IQ? Can supplements get it done? Can exercise get it done? Is it lifestyle? Because it seems very, very easy to. It looks like it's very, very easy to make IQ and intelligence and all these things go down. We starve the body of exercise. We create a deficiency in micronutrients through poor nutrition. We go through sleep deprivation, and we have a really negative outlook on life. And all of a sudden, all these things go down. It seems very easy to let your intelligence go down, focus go down, everything go down. It's very, very difficult to go up and create things that are more efficient. But how do we do that? Well, one of the ways that I do that is I got to get really organized. I use the One Life Planner every day. This isn't a sales pitch for this thing, but you should use this. Get on this thing. You should go buy one of these. You're going to have a quote at the top. You're going to ask yourself some questions, set yourself some intentions. I write down my goals every day and every night. People think I'm crazy, but I want that top of mind awareness and that intention going out into my day. Not from a law of attraction standpoint, on what I'm focused on. If you're focused on the thing, I think that you're more likely to get the thing. Do you see? If I never set the intention for wanting whatever X is, I'm probably not going to be as likely to get X. Now, if it just happens to happen, fantastic, awesome. Maybe you win the lottery. If it just happened to happen, you didn't play, you just happened to win the lottery. Way to go. However, I don't want to rely on that. So I do my intentions and all this stuff, and then I write in the entire day back here. I make a plan. If you are not planning, I don't know if it's true that if you're not planning, you're planning to fail. But I do know, but I do think that if you're not planning, you're planning to get the default of whatever is just going to come your way. All right. Now the other thing that I do, I get my head right. So I get down just on a piece of paper and I make a circle, and inside the circle there is me. All right, just like that. All right, I make this very, very simple, and I don't try to balance stuff. I think this is stupid. I think balance is like the way that balance has been misconstrued anyway is a really silly idea. That balance is about staying still, don't move. No, balance is about throwing your weight as far that way as you possibly can and as far that way as you possibly can and still being able to maintain what you have going on. So balance isn't about like what people think. Like balance is about, like when I'm at work, literally nothing else exists. Nothing else is a part of my life. My family does not matter while I'm at work because the only thing that matters is the work. When I'm working out, I want to become so focused that nothing else exists. And I'm overstating this, but this is how I do it. I try to not let anything else come into when I'm doing these lives. I'm not trying to think about work and my relationship and the time that I got to spend doing X, Y, Z. I'm just trying to think of everything right now. What am I doing right now? So anyway, so I have me, and then I just do my life. So I've got the social media thing. I've got Grit. I have Grit Gym. I have my own training. So let's say my own health. I've got things to tend to. I've got a relationship that I really enjoy. You know, I just go around the circle and I just write out my life. And then I have to find, if I get very clear on what that life that I want to be living is, then it's just naturally going to fit into this. But if I don't get very clear on what this life that I want to live is, I'm going to end up with the default of anything that could have been, just as the default. What if the default isn't what you wanted to have? You know, do you just think that there's no free will? Do you think that there's no ability to change fate? Do you think that everything's just decided for you and you're just going to have that? Because if that's the case, you might as well just quit. Just go do nothing. Just be done. But anyway, we know that this is very easy when you get into the whole designing your life thing. It's very easy to go the negative direction. It's very easy to lower your own intelligence. It's very easy to lower your own focus, to lower your attention, to lower your health, to lower your nutrition, to lower your exercise. It's very, very difficult to rise them up. But I think that that's the challenge. I think that and within that, I think that there is something really cool. Taking the challenge, I think, is something really cool. And we know from a mental standpoint that it's not just about aerobic and it's not just about strength training. It's the whole encompassing act of doing those things. So that's what we get in when we get into when I talk about the performance matrix, the Move Strong matrix. You have to have strength, power, speed. You don't get to not do those, but you also have to have alactic, glycolytic, and aerobic cardio. You also have to have the stability, mobility, stiffness, and they have to be built in an order. You have to start with strength, and you have to start with an aerobic base, and you have to start with stability. You don't get to do it the other way around. And mobility, I'm going to have somebody come on here and argue with me about that last comment that you have to start with stability. Now, the thing that it gets really that people misconstrue about the whole thing with mobility is that they misunderstand that they think it's flexibility. Flexibility is hitting a range. It's just how far the joint can actually bend. Mobility is about keeping the integrity of the joint before. So like you could have more flexibility than you have mobility. You could go to a much further range with flexibility. You might be able to go this far in flexibility, but only this far with your mobility, because it's about the integrity that you can keep. So really, mobility and stability have much more in common than mobility and flexibility do. Okay, this is a huge misunderstanding, but you have to focus on stability first, and then you focus on mobility, and then you focus on stiffness. And a lot of people are going to come on here and argue with me about that too. Maybe I shouldn't have gone down this rabbit hole, but your body has to have stiffness. No basketball player could dunk without stiffness. No, you couldn't sprint without stiffness. Your lower back could not hold its position when you bend over to tie your shoes without stiffness. Stiffness is something that that is a very important thing in our body. We would not want to get rid of stiffness even if we could. This is something that the fitness industry just is totally messed up. That stiffness is that has become like, we're back again. All right, but anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. How do I get all the things in? Well, first of all, I have a staff. I have people that help me. I have people that we're all on the same team. I don't never consider myself the boss. But like there's a team here. I think like there's this thing on social media that happens where people that do a lot of social media, they act like they're they act like they're the solo go at this whole thing. Like no, they have an entire team. I mean, not an entire team devoted to the social media stuff, but to there is and I think that if you're in business and you don't have some kind of staff going for you, then you're screwing up. Because if you have something that you believe in so much that you know that the world is going to get something out of, and I know this sounds a little idealistic, but you know that what you're putting out there for the world is something that the entire world needs, and you don't do every possible thing you can to push out into the world to help as many people as you possibly can, which would mean that you need a team around you, then I think that you're screwing up. There's no way I could get done what I get done without the team that I have around me. And there's no way that these social media gurus, I'm not calling myself social media gurus, but these social media people could do what they're doing without a staff. It is ridiculous to think that is like they have a photographer, they have a videographer to edit the videos, they have people to actually do the sales portion of their business so that they can go and do that. They have all of these different things in line. They are not just doing it alone. So when I say I get extremely organized, I mean I get extremely organized. I mean, I make a plan every day. At the end of every day, I write down my goals, my successes from that day, and the thing that I learned that day. And in the morning, I write down my goal and my targets and my entire plan for that day every day. And then I commit to that plan. It never goes as planned, but at least I made the first plan. And I think that most people don't even make that first plan. Okay, so there's two big things there, or there's three big things. First, I do get organized. When these social media people say, well, I'm just really organized. Well, like, fuck you. But I know that you are, because there's a lot that has to go into this. But at the same time, you're denouncing this whole, like, you're making everybody else, like, you're not making everybody else, but you're making it sound like you can just do this all on your own. No, you have a whole staff around you, and it's ridiculous to say. And then the other thing is, I just do my life. I put me right in the center of the circle. I consider myself the most important and most significant person in my space, okay? Because I have to take care of me, otherwise I can't do all the other things. If I'm going to sacrifice my health for the sacrifice to train more people, well, that's really silly. Am I really living up to the convictions that I have to help people? No, I am not. I have to take care. When you take care of you, you're better at all the things that make you great, and you're a better service to all those that you care about. Anyway, that's how I do it. That's how I get it all in. I have a team around me that's awesome, and I get extremely organized. And I make that plan and I commit to it with as much courage and tenacity and relentlessness as I possibly can to get that plan done. But anyway, that's that for today. Little rant for today. But Move Strong Games is tomorrow. 8 a.m. is the registration starts. You have to show up to registration. You're not just going to be able to show up and just do the games, because we have to have certain things to calculate what weights you're going to use during the events. If there's another video on here describing the events, there's going to be a shot put event, a scoot pass event, a deadlift event, an inverted row event, an endurance event where we're pushing the sled, 2 core events, that's right, a bear crawl and a farmer's walk, and then a grip challenge at the end, but that's the wild card. So anyway, you definitely want to get signed up for that. You can walk around anywhere on this page and find the event, click the event, the links will send you through to get you set up. Anyway, tomorrow's going to be fun. Hope you guys can all be there. If you're not competing, definitely show up to be a spectator. Rachel's going to be doing shakes. She's going to be the bartender, and there'll be other cool stuff going on. So anyway, thanks for being here, guys. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, right? And if you're not there, I'll see you on Monday. But thanks, guys. Please like, comment, share. Tell everybody you know.